Imagine surviving a shipwreck, only to realize that the real nightmare is just beginning. You're floating in the middle of the ocean, surrounded by nothing but water in every direction. No land, no rescue, no way to escape. The sun burns your skin during the day, and the cold creeps into your bones at night. Your lips begin to crack, your throat tightens, and slowly, your body starts to shut down. This wasn't a rare accident. This was the reality faced by hundreds of sailors after the sinking of USS Indianapolis. In July of 1945, the USS Indianapolis was sailing through the Pacific Ocean after completing a secret mission. The crew had no idea that they were about to become part of one of the most horrifying survival stories in naval history. Without warning, a Japanese submarine fired torpedoes into the ship. The impact was sudden and devastating. Within minutes, the massive vessel began to sink beneath the surface. There was no time to organize, no time to prepare. Men were thrown into the water as the ship disappeared into the darkness. Hundreds of sailors survived the initial attack, but survival, in this case, was only the beginning of something far worse. Stranded in the open ocean, they quickly realized they had almost nothing. Very few life rafts, limited supplies, no food, no fresh water, and no clear idea if anyone even knew they were missing. They were alone, completely alone, in one of the most unforgiving environments on Earth. At first, there was hope. The men gathered in groups, trying to stay calm, trying to believe that rescue would come soon. They held onto debris, clung to life vests, and tried to conserve their energy. But as the hours passed, hope began to fade. The sun rose higher, beating down relentlessly. The ocean reflected the heat back at them, turning the surface into a burning mirror. Skin blistered, eyes struggled to stay open, and thirst became unbearable. By the first day, the dehydration had already begun to take its toll. Lips cracked open, tongues swelled. Some men tried to drink seawater, ignoring the warnings. It only made things worse. Salt flooded their bodies, accelerating dehydration, pushing them closer to madness. One by one, men began to lose clarity. Their thoughts became confused, their decisions desperate. As night fell, a different kind of fear took over. The warmth of the day vanished, replaced by a cold that seeped deep into the body. The ocean, once scorching, became freezing. Muscles stiffened. Teeth chattered. Exhaustion set in. And in the darkness, the men realized something else. They were not alone. At first, it was just a feeling, a movement beneath the surface, a ripple that didn't match the waves. Then, someone screamed, and suddenly, the water erupted into chaos. Sharks. Drawn by the wreckage and the scent of blood, panic spread instantly. Men kicked, splashed, tried to climb over each other just to stay alive, but there was nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. The ocean belonged to something else now. The attacks didn't come all at once. They came slowly, randomly. One man pulled under, then another, sometimes in silence, sometimes with screams that echoed across the water. The survivors could do nothing but watch. Every second was filled with tension, waiting for the next movement below them, waiting for the next strike. By the second day, the situation had become unbearable. The sun returned, hotter than before. The survivors were weaker now, slower. Many had stopped speaking entirely. Others began to hallucinate. They saw ships on the horizon that weren't there. They heard voices calling to them. Some believed they had already been rescued and let go of the few things keeping them afloat. Groups began to break apart. Discipline collapsed. The line between reality and illusion disappeared. Men drifted away, physically and mentally. Some sank quietly beneath the surface, too exhausted to continue. Others swam off toward imaginary safety, never to return. The sharks were still there, constant, invisible, patient. By the third day, death had become normal. Bodies floated between the living, the ocean, once endless and empty, now felt crowded with loss. Survivors stopped reacting. They had no energy left for fear, no strength left for panic. Only the slow, crushing weight of exhaustion and dehydration remained. And still, no rescue. By the fourth day, hope was almost completely gone. The survivors were barely conscious. Their bodies were shutting down, skin burned and peeling, eyes hollow, movements slow and weak. The ocean had taken almost everything from them, and for many, it was about to take the rest. Then, something changed. A sound, faint at first, distant, almost impossible to believe. An aircraft. Some of the men didn't react. They had heard things before that weren't real, but this time it was different. The sound grew louder, the shape became clearer, and suddenly, after 4 days of drifting between life and death, they were seen. Rescue finally came. Out of the nearly 900 men who entered the water, only around 300 survived. The rest were lost to dehydration, exposure, exhaustion, and the constant threat beneath the surface. It remains one of the most harrowing survival stories in the history of war, not because of a battle, but because of what happened after. Because sometimes surviving the attack is only the beginning, and the real fight starts when there's nowhere left to run.